Hi everyone, it's Jennifer Davis and I'm here to walk you through a demo for a 201 treatment in DERMed. Once you know how to do a 201 treatment, specifically what I'm going to show you is the lactic peel. Okay, so once you've done a lactic peel, you are prepared to do any of the 101 treatments. So of course the 101 would be what you would first start with. And remember your timings and your retreatment and your downtime. So let's review that first. So you're going to apply a 101 treatment to anybody who comes in for the first time. And in order to acclimate the skin, you want to start with a 101. So the ingredients, the key ingredients, are introduced to the skin gently, and the skin is slowly acclimated to the next level treatment, which would be your 201. The 101 treatments are all of your retail product. So in every system, you're renewing, you're soothing, you're clarifying, and you're brightening. Each have a 101 peel and a mask. And those treatments can be performed either in the shorter 40-minute treatment with just the peel or a longer 60-minute treatment, including the mask. We typically don't do any steaming in our 101 treatments, although it is written in the protocol that you can for the infusion facials. So the ones that are a little lengthier, a little longer, it gives them more of that spa feel, but you're still introducing a bit of the peel ingredient. So with the 201 treatment, we want to do things a little bit differently, and we're going to kind of up the ante for the clients. We're going to be doing a peel prep step with before the peel to the skin to ensure that we are stripping the skin fully. And so I'm going to walk you through from that point forward. I've already cleansed my face and I've done a microcrystal polish. So there are no dead skin cells on the surface of my face. Everything's nice and smooth, and I can start with the peel prep. Now, your retreatment and your downtime for 101. So they can have a treatment every week, 101, 1 day downtime, 1 week retreatment. With a 201, it's double that. It's 2 days downtime, 48 hours downtime, and 2 week retreatment. So they can come back in 2 weeks and have another treatment done. Same thing follows for a 301, 3 day downtime, 3 week retreatment. So in the 201, we have available our herbal peel, which is safe for all skin types and is actually beneficial if you're going to want to, a week after they've had a lactic or even a classic peel, if they have some shedding, you can actually do a herbal peel 1 week out just to help remove some of the shedding so they're not feeling antsy about picking at the skin, because you can't pick the skin. And so a herbal peel is also good for sensitive or rosacea to help repair and renew the skin. And it's there's no AHAs to it. It's all herbal. So it's going to be very soothing for the skin, and there's no change in pH level in the product or in the skin. Then we have a retinol and a pumpkin peel and your lactic peel. The lactic peel is what I'm going to show you today because it's the more difficult of those peels to do, because it's a liquid, obviously, and not a cream. Creams are easy to control, and the lactic peel is a little more difficult to control, a little trickier. So that's what we're going to focus on today, is the lactic. I'm going to show you the method. I like breaking the face into quadrants. And funny thing is, I need glasses to see, but I can't wear glasses when I'm doing the peel. So hopefully I'll get this right. It'll be just a little fuzzy. But the face is broken into quadrants. So your first quadrant is your forehead. Okay, that's one whole quadrant. So I start by applying a peel. So I would use my glycolic swab and I would apply my peel all the way across, moving up as I go. So I start at my brows and I'm going to move towards the hairline. So right above the brows where you start, all the way over and back again. And what I tell people to do is think of a Zamboni. We live in Canada, we know what a Zamboni is. So remember how a Zamboni clears the ice. It's very methodical in how it clears the ice. So I want you to move the glycolic swab like you're the Zamboni, going back and forth, very methodical, overlapping just enough that you don't leave a gap, but that you're not layering the peel. That's very important too. When we do one layer, we want it to be one layer and that's it. So your forehead's your first quadrant. Then, because I'm right-handed, I always go to my left side next. So I'm going to pick up where I left off here, and I'm going to come all the way down to the chin, and then all the way back up. And I'm going to sweep until I hit the perimeter of the face, like this, all the way. Then I would re-dip and I would do my next quadrant. So this is 1, 2, 3, all the way down the nose. Next, upper lip. Then your last quadrant. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, picking up where I left off on the perimeter, back and forth, right under the eye, and then brow bone, providing they don't have microblading done. And then the last side, all the way up, under the eye, brow bone. Then we're going to do our neck last. Okay. When you finish near the neckline, feather it out. I don't like to see really exact lines where a peel was. So feather that out. You can brush it down nicely, just feather it off so it doesn't look like a demarcation line. You won't notice it so much in my skin tone if it's Patrick 1 or 2, but you will notice it in a darker skin tone. You'll see a very distinct band, and we don't want to see that near the neck. It's not attractive. So we're going to feather that out. So those are your quadrants. Forehead is 1, left side is 2, right side is 3, down the nose is 4, upper lip is 5, 6, this cheek, brow bone, and 7, this cheek and brow bone, and finally 8 is the neck. So there's 8 quadrants for you to do. Okay, before we get to the peel and afterwards, we're going to peel prep. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to glove up. Always wear your gloves for your peels and your peel prep. If you do a peel prep and you're doing, 5 peels in one day and you haven't been wearing gloves, you're going to know about it, because the peel prep is a glycolic, a lactic, and a salicylic, and it will strip your skin, as well as it'll just be irritating for your skin. So I'm going to put some of the peel prep solution on my gauze, and I'm going to show you how to peel prep. Oops. Got that. Okay. So you would peel prep the exact same way that you do your quadrants. So we're going to start right on the forehead. And when I say peel prep, I mean I'm going to buff. I'm not just applying this like toner, okay? We're gonna buff it in the skin. I want to really make sure I'm stripping the skin really well. So there's my forehead done, and you'll feel it and you'll smell it. Then we do the perimeter. Support the skin as you go. Always get right by the ear. This is an area where we age. The skin gets looser. All to the chin. Buff, buff, buff. Other side. Ear. Okay. Nose. Ugh. Stinky. Give them a second. And then under the lip. Let them breathe again. And then cheek. Pick up where you left off. Right under the eye, and then brow bone. Really get that crow's feet area. Also, another reason why you want to wear gloves is if I wasn't wearing gloves, I would be redepositing the oils from my fingers on her nice, freshly cleaned skin. Okay, and then I'm going to do the neck. Okay, so we're good. Whew. So now I'm going to deposit a teaspoon of product. So 1 teaspoon in these droppers is typically 3 of these. Then the other thing we need to do is set a timer. So our timer is going to run for 5 minutes. Now, when you're doing your 1-layer 201 peel, you'll just let it ride for 5 minutes. What I will show you is at the 2-minute mark, 3-minute, 4-minute, and 5-minute mark, we're going to track what her number is. So what I mean by number is I need to know my happy place for my client. And if I wanted to proceed to another layer or a higher peel next time, my client has to be at a 4 or less by 5 minutes, within 3 to 5 minutes. I check on the 2-minute mark because I want to see where her peak is, where the high point of the peel is. And a peel will peak at the 2-minute mark. So because I'm starting at the forehead, at 2 minutes, it's going to be its strongest here, but it won't have developed fully the rest of her face. So I keep checking her time, 2, 3, 4 minutes, and then finally 5 minutes. She has to be at a 4 or less for me to say, okay, I could do another layer, or next time we can progress to a stronger peel. If she's not at a 4 or less, then we have to do either the same peel or a different peel within that level, like a different level 2. Keep in mind, retinols are stronger. So a retinol in level 2 will actually feel a little prickier than the lactic in level 2. So just because she had a lactic at 2 and she was a 4 at 5 minutes doesn't mean she's going to be a 4 at 5 minutes with the retinol peel. You also want to build up the acclimation of the skin. So the next time she comes in, she's actually going to respond better. Her numbers will be better each peel she has. That's just the way it works with the chiral technology and the acclimation of the skin with DERMed. So our first level, 201 for lactic, I'm going to time every minute. And at the 2-minute mark, when it's fully on, I'm going to ask for the first time. So I'll let you know what I feel between 0 and 10. Now, what I tell my clients is 0, you want to go to lunch, you're buying. 10, you would never be caught dead having lunch with me because you don't like me too much. Somewhere in between lets her know kind of where to put that ballpark. Now, here's the trick. Don't tell your clients what number 4 means. Don't tell her that I can't do anything more and more aggressive until you're a number 4. Don't tell them that, or else they're going to lie and they're going to tell you that, oh yeah, I'm a 4, because clients want as much as they can get from you. And you have to really watch that her skin isn't going to really be hyperreactive. And even though she's saying, yeah, I'm good, you know, she looks like a cooked lobster and you should stop. So the time for her is important, that she doesn't understand what the number means. Just write it down and move on. Okay, so I hope that's clear. We can talk about this more in depth as well when we meet next week for training on Thursday. Okay, so I have my peel in here. I have absorbed my first amount in my glycolic swab. The glycolic swabs are really handy because I pretty much can't drip. You have to be pretty messy to drip. The other thing I'm going to do before I start is I'm going to apply some enhanced protective cream from the enhancing line to protect the mucous membranes, the eyes, and the mouth. So what I'm going to do is apply a little bit of this cream at the inside of my eyes, just at the inside there. So just in case I was messy, see it? The peel would go in and hit it, and they act like little dams. So it's going to prevent, so see how I roll it off? It's going to prevent the peel from going into my eyes. Let me make sure I've got it a little far away there. Okay. And then you can do the corners of the mouth too. Okay, so now I have little dams. That's what I call them. So now we're going to time. Now my timing, it's funny, I'm recording on my phone and my phone is my timer. So I'm going to ballpark this. Oh, actually, hold on a sec. I have a timer on my watch. Should I let this ahead of time? Hold on. Okay, perfect. gosh. Sorry. This is annoying. There we go. Stopwatch. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to use the stopwatch always on my phone to track my time. So I know, the cream's a little low. I know that when it's so accurate, when I get to the 2-minute mark, I can then ask her what the number is. So I'm just doing my time, my stopwatch, and I'm going to start as soon as I start applying. So my time's running and I'm going to start. Now, your goal is to get this peel on in about 1.5 minutes. So far we're at 19 seconds. Perimeter 1. Now you'll notice I've got the Q-tip towards the center of the face. Okay, pick up my next peel. I come around just in a nice semicircle here. Try not to overlap too much. Okay. Nose. Now it's important under the eyes, you don't go like this. So your hand is over her eye. So start where you left off. Oh, my upper lip, shoot. Almost forgot the upper lip. So you're going to come up towards her eye like this. Brow bone. Brow bone's important because of all the crow's feet and the slackening we get in the eye. Ooh, it's hot. I haven't had a peel done a peel on myself probably since last year. But my skin's pretty tough. Okay, then we're going to finish off with the neck. So I'm at 2 minutes now. So a little long with the talking, but usually I get a peel on in about 1.5 minutes, no problem. So at the 2-minute mark, we're going to ask the client, because now it's at its peak at the forehead, what's my number? So I'd probably say this is like a 3 for me. But I hear as much as a 6 from clients with a level 201 when they first start. I went over there a little more because the neck's tougher than the face and I wanted to use all the peel. So all the peel's gone. And you can see how the interesting thing on the glycolic swab is how much it absorbs and how much it lets go of the peel. So this is pretty much dry. And I've used it, it releases the peel. As much as it picks it up, it also releases onto the skin. So you don't waste anything, which is amazing. So we're at 250 now. So at the 3-minute mark, I would ask the client again, give me a number between 0 and 10. And it's not enough that the client says, oh, I feel better. No, I need a number. So give me your number. Are we at lunch? Are you buying or am I buying now, right? And then she'll say, oh, okay, if she started at a 6, she'll probably go every minute. They go down about at 1 point, except for the retinols. The retinol actually goes the other way. The retinol will climb a bit the longer it's on the skin. So I'm at 320 and I'd probably say my number's a 2. It's pretty mild now. And then at the 4-minute mark, now here's the thing. Your number has to be between 3, or your time is between 3 and 5. So if I was doing another layer of a different peel, and let's be clear, you never double layer a lactic. Lactic just goes on once. You never layer lactic over lactic, okay? Lactic does 2 things. It's a hydrator and it's also a breaker through of the bonds of the keratinized layers. So it will unglue the cells and it will hydrate. That's the only 2 things lactic does. At the 4-minute mark, I'd say I'm a 1. I barely feel anything. So I could do another layer of a peel, either a pumpkin over top of this or a retinol, and I'd be good because I'm within my range. So between 3 and 5, she has to be 4 or below before you can do something else. So I could apply a pumpkin over top of this, and I would do it the exact same method. I would, if my thing looked like this, I would get a new one. But if it wasn't like that, then you'd be fine to use it again, because in the pumpkin, you also have lactic. And I would start the forehead and just layer right over top. I would put my pumpkin right over top this, or my retinol right over top. Nose, upper lip, cheek, brow bone, cheek, brow bone, and then the neck. If she was a 4 at the 3-minute mark, I could go ahead and put my pumpkin or my retinol right over top. I don't have to wait the full 5 minutes. Okay, so I don't have to wait full 5 minutes for lactic and then put a pumpkin. I could go anywhere after the 3-minute mark, providing she's 4 or below. So now I'm at the 5-minute mark. So with my time, can you see that? So annoying, this watch. So at the 5-minute mark, I'm going to stop. If I was putting another layer on, this is a really cool feature of the watch. There's a lap feature. So if I was still running it, I would hit lap, and see, it gives me now a lap time. And I would run the second layer with my total running time, but also my second lap time. And that gives me a good individual time for that other layer, and or total running time. Now also, every time I hit lap, it gives me another lap. So say I was doing 3 layers of a classic, there's my running time for each individual treatment layer, as well as my total running time. So the stopwatch feature on your watch or your phone is actually really handy to use, because you can track precisely what each layer is doing and how long it's been on. So for this, I'm going to end this peel, and I have nice cool water here waiting for me. I'm a little bit over on my 5-minute time, but that's okay. Make sure you're going to remove the peel, or you're going to add another layer. If it's her first time at a level 2, then you're just going to do the 1 layer. It doesn't matter if she's a walk in the park, just do 1 layer of a level 2. The next peel, okay, she rocked that first 201. I can, on the next time, do 2 layers of either layering with a lactic and a retinol, or lactic with a pumpkin. So I'm going to remove this peel with lots of cool water. Now, when we do a 301 demo, it's going to be a little different. We're going to get to a point where you don't remove the peel in a classic. You will always remove the peel in the micro lifting, but in the classic peel, we actually work toward leaving it on. Because there's salicylic, it will self-neutralize. Salicylic is a BHA, and BHAs self-neutralize. So there's enough salicylic in the peel that it will self-neutralize the entire classic peel, but there's not enough in the micro to self-neutralize. So we always will rinse the micro, and we'll get to a point where we let the classic ride on its own. But we'll get to that in another demo. Right now, I'm just rinsing until I don't feel any tingling anymore. All right, so that feels pretty good. So that was just 1 layer of lactic. Now I'm going to just blot my skin dry, and then I'm going to apply the Bioderm Neutral Oil, which is going to start the healing process in the skin. And I want that to go on dry skin. So a 1 layer 201 is good for acclimating the skin, but also brightening the skin. You won't get any shedding from this, but you will see an overall brightness in the texture of the skin and how it looks. So I have my Bioderm Neutral Oil, and really 1 or 2 pumps is all you need. And this stuff smells amazing. It smells like cherry certs. If anybody knows what certs is, it's I think dating myself when I talk about certs, because it was a candy that I don't see anymore. I don't see certs, but You can Google them. And this smells just like cherry certs. Hello, Penelope. This is my very demanding cat. Hi. Got to show you. This is the fun of doing training from home. Hi, P. Penelope is 16. She's my old girl. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. So once I've got that on and mostly absorbed, I'm going to remove my gloves and then finish massaging. I want the first part of it to go on and not in my hands. I want the skin to take it. But then to help absorb, we can finish with our hands without gloves. And then you can do a serum if you like. Follow your protocols. They're very well laid out. Some of them say to use an epidermal growth factor serum, or you can do a different serum providing, depending on what her condition is in her skin. I'm just going to put the soothing moisturizer on to finish. Oh, it feels so good. Now, keep in mind, whenever you put the moisturizer on, and even the Bioderm Nature oil or gel, the oil is for mature, dry, dehydrated skin. The gel is for combination oily skin. It's going to pick up the heat in the skin a little bit, depending on how, especially for somebody the first time that they've had a peel, they're going to get hot again. And so anytime you add something more to the skin, it will heat up. It will calm down, but it will heat up. I don't feel anything, but again, I'm used to peels. So once you've done your one layer, this is how you're going to finish. And then you're going to remind them, no heat, which I mean by no hot tubbing, no hot showers with water on the face, don't cook a hot meal, good excuse for the partner to order in, and no serums, no exfoliation, all of those things, no heavy makeup unless it's mineral makeup like Jane Iredale, and just be very gentle with your cleanser, toner, moisturizer. That's it for 201, 2 days. If it was a 101, 1 day. That's your downtime. So avoid that heat and anything excessive on the face, just don't do it. Think inflammation. We've done a controlled burn on the skin. Now this is a very mild one, but we're going to work towards a much heavier treatment. So we want to make sure that if we're doing inflammation, that we're not going to add any more inflammation to the skin. So you can see I'm a little bit pink in some areas, right? But very glowy. The skin looks very moist. And I don't feel anything. It feels like I've done nothing except my skin is so hydrated. It feels really well lubricated right now. So 2-day downtime, avoid all the stuff that's going to add inflammation. Don't do anything aggressive, no exfoliation, stay away from the microcrystal polish for 2 days. After the 2-day mark, she can continue with her serums, makeup, any like hot tub is fine. Oh, exercising. Don't exercise where you're doing heavy cardio for 2 days. And I'll tell you why. Again, the inflammation. When you do a lot of cardio, you bring a lot of blood to the surface. And I had one girl not listen, and she said, I felt fine. She called me afterwards and said, you were right. I went to the gym and she blistered across her forehead and around her mouth. And she said, it's my fault. You told me not to, and I thought I was fine. So make sure no heat. I'm serious. And then afterwards, she can come back and see you in 2 weeks. If it was a 201, 1 week with a 101. When she comes back, if she was 4 below within 3 to 5 minutes at her happy number, then you can do a double layer. If my client moved through very well with that and she progressed in her double layer very well and she came down to a 4 within 3 to 5 minutes on that second layer, then I know my next peel could likely be a 301. She'd be ready for that. Her skin is prepared. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave it for today. And we're almost at 30 minutes. That's perfect. When we meet next week, I'll walk you through any questions you have on this demo and also any questions you have about your clients. We'll talk about case studies and what products are suitable for the specific conditions and concerns that your client has, okay, the person that you're going to pick. And I hope that was fun for everybody. Penelope made her star appearance, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Thanks, everyone. Talk soon. Bye.